Birshut Rabbanim, with the permission of the rabbis. What is the question that rabbis are asked during these days? There's one question that I think most of rabbis get during these days, and it's not when all this is going to be over, not that one. The question I refer to is, what do we do with the Arbat Aminim after the Hag is over? Yes? What do we do with the Arbat Aminim? After Sukkot ends, and we are left with the variety of items that we use for a mitzvah, and they no longer can seem to be useful anymore or have any function after Sukkot is over. So the question, to put it in general terms, is what do we do with what is left? So here are some ideas. With the etrog, you can share your ideas if you have some ideas too. So the first one that I know and I used, and I think it works very well, better than this mic, is we do jelly. Yes? Have you heard of jelly with etrog? Okay. Anybody has a recipe here? Yes? Do you have a recipe? Okay. So I heard, and I think it worked very well because I think we tried it and it worked. It's a segula. If you eat the jelly of the etrog, it's a segula. It's a good, how would you translate segula? It's a hope, omen for pregnancy. So if you want your wife to or somebody else to get pregnant, that's what I heard. So, okay. That's one. The second one I heard is people do schnapps, liqueur with the etrog. Yes? That's very good. Yes? Well, I see some people are already excited about that. Okay, I don't know how to do that. If you have a recipe, please share it with the others. Another option is that you put some cloves and you use it for besamim, for Abdallah. Yes? Some other people try to plant it and see if it grows. Okay? I'm not sure the weather of Bethesda helps for that. But some people plant it and have it inside in their homes, and inside it's easier to grow because outside it's very cold. Other people put it in the cholent. In the first Shabbat after the holiday is over, they leave it and they chop the etrog and they put it in the cholent. Never tried that? You can try it? Okay. Others fry the etrog and they use it for Tu B'Shvat. Okay? They keep it in some ways for Tu B'Shvat and they eat it as fruits for Tu B'Shvat. So there's one more thing that happened in the time of the Mishnah, and I want to explain a little bit about that. There was a ceremony called Nisuch Amayim. Throughout the year, the daily offering in the temple came together with pouring wine on the altar. Every day, the Kohen Gadol, or the Kohen who was serving, will pour some wine on the altar. On Sukkot, water was poured instead of wine, and that is called Nisuch Amayim. So I'm going to read a little bit about what happened in the times of the temple. So I'm quoting now the Mishnah of Sukkah. And to the one pouring, they said, raise your hand high, so that we see you pouring into the bowls. For it once happened that someone, a Sadducee priest, whose sect did not believe in the right of pouring water, poured out the water over his feet, and all the people pelted him with the etrogim. So the etrog is a great tool to stone priests. So I highly recommend it. Not use it with the priest here in the synagogue. Hazan Klein is a priest, it's a Kohen, I'm a Kohen too, so we are okay with candies, but not with etrogim. Okay, so that's what you can use with what is left of the etrog. What can we do with the adas? The adas is the one that has some smell in it, yes? So some people grind it up and make out of it besamim for Abdallah. Okay, what do we do with the lulav? So if you are creative enough and with your hands, some people can make baskets and they will put inside the besamim, the spices for the Havdalah. Also, some people find their way in their homes and save the lulav, sometimes together with the adas, and they reuse it. They wait until Pesach, and before Pesach they use it to do biur chametz. Yes, they burn the chametz, so you fulfilled a mitzvah during Sukkot, and you, if your wife did not find the lulav in your home and did not throw it away before Pesach while cleaning up, so you can reuse it for doing the mitzvah of biur chametz, burning the chametz. What do we do with the araba? The araba is the lowest of the four derbat aminim. It has no tam and no reach. And not only that, it has no smell and no taste, but not only that, we hit it on the ground. So when Sukkot is over, it has no leaves. It's completely destroyed. There's almost no arava. So I'm going to read something for you that comes from the Talmud, in the Masechet Sukkah 45a. You want, after I finish, you want to check that I'm quoting the source, and go and double check. So it says as follows: on the seventh day of Sukkot, the celebrators in the temple turned to the altar which they had been circling and said as they were leaving, Yofi lecha mizbeach, beauty unto you, altar. This refers to the altar's special decoration in honor of Hoshana Rabbah. Long branches of arabot, of willows, were laid all around it. The arabah is the simple and most lacking in visual distinction of all the four species used on Sukkot. And yet, even though the arabah is the one that gets less attention and gets hits on the ground and is no longer useful, it is exactly the reason we decorate with it the mizbeach. After Sukkot is over, some people do it usually after Hoshana Rabbah, and we hit on the ground. There's one custom that I learned, that they throw the arabot over the Aron HaKodesh. It could be easier to do it in the main sanctuary than here, but they put it on the Aron HaKodesh. They decorate the Aron HaKodesh and they put it high above the Aron HaKodesh. So now the arava is the one branch which would have never been chosen for its beauty. But without the araba, we would not be able to fulfill the mitzvah of Arbat Aminim. And it is the araba that gives the beauty to the mizbeach, to the altar. What do we do with what is left? And this is the question that Iskor presents us. That's the same question. What do we do with what is left? I think that we do exactly what we do with the araba. We decorate our lives with those lives that are gone. We elevate their memory above the holiness, higher. As we could not fulfill the mitzvah of Arbat Aminim, of the four species, without the araba, as we could not enjoy the qualities of the etrog, the lulav and adas, without having a simple plain willow, we cannot enjoy our lives and the lives of our spouses, kids, siblings, grandchildren, without decorating our lives, these lives, with the memory of those who are no longer with us. The leaves that ultimately will end up broken come to decorate our lives. Without the memories, the experiences we gain from them, we could not be the people that we are today. So, what do we do with what is left? What do we do with these lives that are no longer alive? We bring them back to life every year at the time of Izkor, so they can continue bringing beauty to our lives. It's not about the smells, tastes, Torah, knowledge, or virtues. It's about the aravot, the plain, simple examples they use to adorn our mizbeach, our own tabernacles. During the time of Izkor, we remember them. During the time of Izkor, we bring them back to life.